Please like and subscribe, and go to ProPhotoEdits.com where you can download my Lightroom presets and Photoshop actions, and we can edit together. Alright guys, so let's get into how I shoot a lot of these studio images. This is with the EOS R and the 85 1.2 RF, and I like to shoot them wide open because it gives the, as long as you can nail the eye, it'll give the skin slightly softer look. Now if I'm doing like a direct magazine cover and the makeup is done absolutely extremely perfect and spend hours on it, and I might shoot it at f8 with a white backdrop or something like that. But just for these typical fun studio shoots that I like to use, lenses wide open, just because if you angle the model the right way, you can get that fall off into their hair. If you put one shoulder back a little bit and focus on the eye closest, shoot at portrait orientation, you can get a really nice soft dreamy look to the skin. Eye will be really sharp, and I'll show you how sharp this 85 RF is in just a second. So just equipment wise and how I use my lighting to get the look like this, I'll give you the rundown. If you can find one of these on Amazon or elsewhere, it's a Selene's SELENS parabolic softbox, and I use a 48-inch in my studio. I use the 36 when I travel, but the diffusion on here is really great. I've had the ones that cost like $400 and $500, and they weren't nearly as soft as this. It's double diffused. It's like almost like a silk diffusion, and I use the grit on there, and it's the best softbox I've ever used. I won't go back now, and I think I paid like $110 for it. Really great deal. Inside of that, I'm lighting it with the 8600 Godox Bowens mount. As you can see, fits right on there. So here's some through the lens footage on my Ninja V, and this is the EOS R, of course, 85 1.2 RF. That's the only lens I use on this shoot. And as you can see, the eye autofocus is working pretty well. It has been pretty great since the update. Now, one thing I will say is that sometimes, as you see right here, the eye autofocus will just stop and then it'll grab the eye on the other side of the face. But I've had this problem on every single system: Nikon, Sony, Canon. Nikon gave you the ability to switch eyes, but it's cumbersome and you have to hit the arrow and stuff like that. So I don't know if there's a solution for that yet, but maybe in the future they'll do an eye autofocus that selects the eye closest to the camera without having to press any buttons. So real quick, how I edit my editorial photos: go out of camera just like this to Lightroom preset. This is Victoria Studio, this is in the pack. And then with the Photoshop skin retouching to this, I'll put the link in the description. I'll put a card above so you can watch that video. It's kind of long and boring, but give you my whole rundown on how I use my presets and how I use my Photoshop actions to give you amazing results. And now let's pixel peep some of these just to show you what the 85 is capable of. So let's get in close here. Now this is 1.2. Let it resolve. That's pretty sharp. I'll give you some of these raw files in the description below so you can pixel peep them yourself. Now I'm at 100% right now, and as you can see, this eye is out of focus. It hit the eye, not really the eyelashes. They're in focus too. And the skin, is showing a lot of detail. That's way more than the EF 1.2 would do, but I have to shoot it at 1.8 for this eye to be that sharp and then focus on this side. So one thing you'll find with the RF 1.2 is that, like on the old EF version, the skin here would be even softer, which is kind of good. But the problem with that, I found a lot of times, is that it's hit and miss. I would like one shot will be in focus and 3 will be out, even at 1.8. I would never attempt this at 1.2. Actually, I would, because I love 1.2. But I know that I have to take 30, 40 photos, and the difference between this expression and the two expressions before, whenever I was snapping all the photos, it's not worth the risk. Let it resolve. At 100%, we're still at 1.2. That's a lot of detail. There's a lot of detail in the skin. I know it's only 31 megapixels in the EOS R. Maybe on the R5 or whatever's coming next we'll get more. I do miss the amount of detail that I had on the higher megapixel bodies, and that's just where we're at with Canon right now. I can't wait till they come out with something a little bit higher, but that's really great for 1.2. And just here, I'll reset it and take my preset off. That's how far away I was. And with the crop and the preset, Victoria Studio, that's the name of the preset that I use on this. Still amazing detail for being that far away. You guys saw the shot that came right out of camera there. Let's put the preset on it. It's the one with the preset. Let it resolve. Really sharp. At 1.2, that's incredibly sharp. Alright, so on this image, of course, it shows what it does. 85 1.2 RF close up. Now, I'm not quite minimum focusing distance because I'm trying to leave a little bit of space here because you need to crop after the fact. But this eye, nice and out of focus. The chin, super soft and gone. Over here, the hair is gone. This eye is incredibly sharp. Renders the skin really nice, just needs minimal touch-up work. I'll do that in Photoshop. The 85 1.2 RF is head and shoulders above the EF. I like having both, but this is just always accurate. I can't say that about the EF. It just hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss. It's a lot better on my EOS R since it's mirrorless, but at 1.2, I'll have to take 20 photos and hope to get one of these in focus. And with the RF, it didn't miss. Man, I could go through this whole set and it might have missed like 2 out of like 300 shots. And not really missing, it just chose the wrong eye. And then I'll just have to recompose and it'll find the right eye. But incredibly happy with this lens. Really, really happy with this lens. Far away. Let it resolve. It's still nice and sharp. Really good lens. I have a full review on this coming up shortly. And download the raw files here. And you can play with, this is the image that I gave you a raw file of. And here's the raw file. I gave you this. You can download my presets from my site, prophotoedits.com. And then I gave you the full video link to show you how I edit skin with my action sets are included in that as well. And until next time, guys, please sub to the channel. I have a review on the 50 1.2 RF coming up. Full review. I have a full review on this 85 coming up with all the photos I've taken with it so far, probably on 15-20 shoots, and we'll just keep it moving like that. Here's a quick before and after look at some of the presets in my pack at prophotoedits.com. So please subscribe. Every week I have new videos of behind the scenes, how I did the shot, and then I use one of the presets from my pack to edit the photo for you, and I give you the raw file too. I also have cool behind the scenes videos that I make on my Ronin S and whatever camera I'm using, and I have a LUT pack available as well for you guys. So please subscribe and help me grow this channel, and I hope you guys figure out all your editing needs if you have any, and just keep it moving like that. I'll see you guys next week. It's Marcus.